Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Team McCauley coming with another video. This time I finally got some more single battles for you guys. Well, I should say a single battle for you. I made a new team, and this one is with Mega Alakazam. I think he's quite the interesting Pokemon, mainly because of his ability Trace. I was reading up on him. A lot of people were a little disappointed that a Mega Evolution got the ability Trace because you get Mega Charizard X, which has Tough Claws, Mega Charizard Y, which has Drought. All these Mega Evolutions have these really cool abilities, and then Mega Alakazam doesn't really even get an ability. He has to trace another one, which can be good, but that kind of is it kind of makes him more of a sweeping Pokemon, not one that you'd want to switch out, switch back in, because he might trace bad abilities. So I brought back the Pyroar. This one's a little different, I believe. Last one I had ran Roar. This one has Hidden Power, Ice, I believe, or Dark Pulse, something like that. So my first opponent actually has an evolution team. The two he's missing are Glaceon and Umbreon. Umbreon's is probably the most common / powerful one because of its defenses and its moveset. But I guess he just didn't want to use a little more of the less commonly used ones. I can respect it. I like that, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get this battle started now. So I had a decent matchup against this team. If he had Glaceon, it would have been a bit more of a problem because he would have been able to do damage to my Salamence. He leads with Jolteon here, which is no surprise. I lead with my Carbink. I love Carbink. I've always loved him. He's 4 times weak to Steel, but other than that, I think he's a pretty decent Pokemon. So if he could go straight for the Volt Switch, which is predictable. I mean, his team had a pretty safe, or Jolteon was a pretty safe lead because he could just Volt Switch against anything except the Gastrodon. So he's going to go out into Vaporeon, which I think is a good switch for him, but that's a free Stealth Rock for me. So I was kind of scared of him possibly having Taunt on that Jolteon, but I just got free Stealth Rock stuff, which is really nice. So here I feel like the Scald is pretty obvious, so I got my Gastrodon. So we do see the Scald, but I do have Storm Drain. I chose Storm Drain over Water Absorb just because I have Recover on this set. So it's not the end of the world if I take some damage because I can just recover back up. So I go for the Earth Power. He goes for the Ice Beam. So we see, and I'm at +1, but based on that damage, this is going to be a very long Stall War. I'm not too familiar with Vaporeon. I don't know if it gets any recovery outside of Wish. So he decides to switch out. So I feel like that's good. I mean, it was a battle that he would have lost. And he goes into Leafeon, which would be which is his best switch. It's the only thing that resists the Earth Power. But I had no reason not to go for Earth Power. And it actually does quite a bit of damage. Leafeon's physically defensive, a lot more. I'm not too sure about its special defense, but I know it has some pretty good physical defense. So it's actually made a 2-hit KO on this Leafeon, so we could actually take it out. But the only thing I'm scared of is him outspeeding me, which is highly likely since I'm not invested in speed. So that's going to make me bring in my Salamence. I'm expecting like a Leaf Blade or some sort of physical grass type move. So we actually see a knockoff, which I think is a really good play by my opponent. He predicted the switch there. He didn't knock off my Life Orb, so a little bit less damage from the Salamence. Here I'm like, it's a free Dragon Dance for me because there's nothing he could do to me. But then right when I clicked it, I was like, oh wait, he does have the Sylveon in the back, so it makes a good switch into the Sylveon. So now I kind of have to decide, especially without Life Orb, I highly doubt I can knock this thing out since I have Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and Aerial Ace, so those moves probably wouldn't be enough. So I go into Scizor here, predicting the Hyper Voice. I could have gone in the Scizor or Gastrodon or even the Pyroar, but that actually does a lot of damage. I'm like, is this thing choice then? But I go for the Bullet Punch. I'm banded, max attack, Technician, so that's more than enough to knock it out. He probably knew his calcs. He might have, or I don't even know if it would have survived without the Choice Band, but I'm not complaining. That's a free knockout for me. So in comes the Flareon. I have no reason to stay in here. The thing, Scizor is the only other Pokemon it's going to be good against would be Leafeon, and it's already low, but I was like, I want to save the Bullet Punch. I never know when a Bullet Punch is going to come in handy. So he just goes for Fire Blast. Carbink eats that up pretty nice. And he's going to switch out. And he's going back into Oh no, he's going into Espeon for the first time. So here I was actually predicting to go for a Fire Blast again. So this is one of the reasons why I decided to run Carbink, just because he can learn Explosion. So I think he has like base 50 attack or whatever, but I do have the normal gem just to boost it up, and that's going to be enough to pick up the knockout on this Espeon. So that's pretty nice right there. That's just one of the reasons why I wanted to run. I've loved Carbink ever since he came out. When I saw him, I was like, he's got good competitive potential. But I mean, he's more of a support Pokemon. He's got like base 150 defense, base 150 special defense. But that was a cool explosion I got off right there. I was able to neutralize that Espeon before it could even do any damage. So I decided my safest switch would be Salamence, and I was like, he's probably gonna go into the Espeon, or excuse me, into the Jolteon. But if he does, I can just switch back out into my Gastrodon. So yeah, he goes for the hidden power here. I was a little bit scared of a hidden power Ice. And I believe this thing even gets access to Energy Ball. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not too familiar with the evolutions, but I'm able to eat that up, and I'm able to scare him out. So he's going to go back into his Vaporeon, which is a good switch. It's going to be a free Earth Power for me. So I was going to bring this Vaporeon just below 50% after the leftovers recovery. So here I'm like, I could stall this out, but I'm not too big of a fan of stalling. I'll even lose some. I'm like, I'd rather lose Pokemon than stall. So I switch out here, and I go back into my Scizor, just because I'm okay with sacking this thing off now, since I got rid of the Espeon, and a Bullet Punch wouldn't do much to this Vaporeon or the Leafeon. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. But it actually goes for the Rain Dance. So here I was like, does this thing get Swift Swim or I forget what the other one is, but it's Ludicolo's ability, like where you gain HP at the end of each, like an eighth of your HP at the end of each turn if it's raining. But I go for a knockoff just because it was safe if you wanted to switch. And I was like, if I knock it out, I can just go for like a knockoff sweep. But so a Bug Bite there would have knocked him out because it would have been Stab and it would have been Technician. But that's fine. I go in the Alakazam here because Alakazam is pretty much ready to finish this thing off. There's nothing on his team that can outspeed me. I'm timid. So I just go straight up for the Psyshock here. And so here I'm like, okay, so Trace actually is worth something here because it's raining and the hydration's up. So if he somehow afflicts me with a status type move, I'll just cure it off with hydration. So there it actually pays off, but if I were to switch this thing in like on this Leafeon, it wouldn't really do anything. And hydration doesn't do anything outside of rain either. So, but in this situation, I got lucky. So here at this point, I'm just going for Psyshock because I don't want to. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if I reveal my other moves. But Psyshock, Leafeon is physically defensive, but Psyshock is still more enough to take it out. I also run Substitute on this set just so I can get in case my opponent decides to switch out, I can get a nice initiative with the Substitute. So Jolteon comes in, I'm still able to outspeed, and this is pretty much going to be it. I got, like with Mega Alakazam, if you get all your opponent's Pokemon, or not all of them, but well, if you get all of them to like 60%, 70% health or lower, Mega Alakazam can pretty much finish up. Especially that's why I run Stealth Rocks on this to break any potential Focus Sashes, just to help with Mega Alakazam sweeps and also potential Pyro sweeps. If you guys watched my last, well, I don't know if it was my last or like 2 single teams ago or whatever it was, but when I ran Pyroar did some serious work. So that and Mega Alakazam are pretty nice. So I'll kind of go over my team a little bit right now. Once again, I wasn't able to do the team preview, but so Carbink is normal gem, Gastrodon, and Carbink is physically defensive. Gastrodon is specially defensive. It's just your typical set. We got Pyroar, we got Pyroar with the Choice Scarf. Pretty much the same set as last time, except I think I have Hidden Power Ice or Dark Pulse. I couldn't remember which one I decided to take in the end. We have Scizor, Choice Banded. Typical set, Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, Knockoff, and what's the last one? I don't remember what the last one is, but Salamence, I chose Moxie, not really that important since I got Choice Band Scizor. More of like a support Salamence in a way. That's why I have Aerial Ace on him, because I want to be able to hit. I want to have a flying type move. Also, in case I get up against any minimized cheese or any smear goals, I can hit them with Aerial Ace. And he also has Earthquake for coverage. And Mega Alakazam, Psyshock, Dazzling Gleam, Energy Ball substitute. So, you guys will see more. This team, I'm excited. I don't know too much about Mega Alakazam. I don't know his strengths, his weaknesses, what's going to shut me down. But on my team, I was thinking of running Houndoom over Pyroar, but then I was like, Pyroar, because Houndoom would give me the dark coverage, and it would resist Ghost, but I was like, Pyroar is immune to Ghost. And like Alakazam has 3 weaknesses: Ghost, Dark, and Bug. So for Ghost, I have immunity and some resistances. For Bug, I have tons of resistances. Salmon's resists. I think Salmon's Quad resists. Scizor resists. Pyro resists. Tons of resistances. And what was that? Dark. We got Scizor to be able to hit any Dark types for super effective stab. So just that's pretty much it. Oh, and also we have the Carbink 2 Fairy type. Doesn't do much damage, but quite the bulky Pokemon. Could explode in my opponent's faces when I want. So that's pretty much the team's gonna be coming. You're gonna be seeing some more stuff in the upcoming weeks with this team, or not the upcoming weeks, just the upcoming days. It might be like a week, 2 weeks with this team. But if you guys got any suggestions, go ahead and let me know. If you want to battle me, also let me know. Still looking to do some battles. I'll be coming out with a new doubles team as well. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.